Welcome back to Charlotte Soccer Show 12 Goals of Christmas, everybody. I am your host, Bramsey Claus, here on a beautiful, wonderful Christmas season here, giving gifts, the gift of goals that everybody loves, counting down the best 12 with maybe a few bonus in their goals of the year. Cheers to you. I'm working overnight on Christmas Eve, like Santa. For the Tifos, all for the benefit of the Tifos. Love y'all. Love everything about everything you do. When it comes to number 2 on this list, there was only one choice. There's only an obvious number 1 choice. Hope everybody enjoyed the Scorpion Kick discourse yesterday on Christmas. Hope you had a great Christmas. Hope your Boxing Day is full of boxing up all kinds of things and going and just dealing with all kinds of boxes and soccer, obviously. Hope you gave what you needed on Christmas. It's more important to give than to get, obviously. And I'm old enough to know that. I'm old enough to have known that for quite a while. So of all the choices I had for number 2 goal on this list, there was only one. And I wish that it was a goal that meant more. I wish it was a goal that had better context. We will get into some more important goals, some more significant goals, some goals that actually made you feel like they meant something at some point. This one felt like it meant something at the time. Didn't end up meaning anything, unfortunately. But, I love to break out in songs, so here we go. I believe that Kerwin Vargas is our future. Teach them well and let him lead the way, because the best backflip of them all, we know Kerwin is famous for his backflips after he scores and that's his custom celebration, right? His trademark. But the greatest backflip of them all was the one when he actually used a backflip to score a goal. I think you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you haven't really been paying attention. But let's take a look and a listen to Kerwin's big moment here, and then we'll watch it a bunch more times with my commentary.
Something different to think about.
Bronico clipping into the danger zone. Swiderski back across goal, and that is a sensational finish. What a goal for Charlotte! Their first goal in Major League Soccer's playoffs, and it comes from Vargas. The man in form in front of goal delivers again for Charlotte, and maybe.
Vargas coming off a goal with the confidence against Inter Miami and one just prior to that. But how about this well-worked set piece and that audacious effort from Vargas? Swiderski, they set up outside, is well designed and executed. But how about that finish over the head from Vargas, flipping with that right foot across his body, picking out that back post. See Charlotte at a...
Shout out Apple for your every goals page on the Charlotte FC page. Made this a very easy project for me to execute. That was not an easy thing for Kerwin Vargas to execute, but execute it he did. What an amazing goal. Bicycle kick goal. Let's watch it again a few more times and just talk about, there's so much to love about this goal for sure. Obviously, the finish is absolutely what puts it at number 2 as our sort of undeniable number 2. But first off, you the ball from Bronico into Caro, and then Kerwin finished. I mean, just watching it every time blows me away. But think about this. So this came off of a set piece free kick where Westwood slides it over to Brawny, and then Brawny sends the quote unquote Westwood ball over the top and then drop down. Not quite as Ashley does, but it was pretty nice. We'll see a couple replays here. So he sends one over the top. Caro, of all the defining characteristics of Karol Swiderski, one is that he'll do anything to win. And in this, whether it's score a goal, create a goal. In this one, it's obviously a routine that they've done in a set piece practice. And that ball probably falls to Carroll's feet more of the times in when it came in from practice. But this time he's like, I'll just head it because we need to go quick here. So he heads it back into a crowd. There's plenty of guys there with a chance at it. But it's Kerwin who turns it into that magical moment. And it's because Kerwin's a special player. I believe he is our future. And that was the best backflip of them all. and I love that he doesn't do his big backflip celebration here. You know, he's like, oh, yeah, let's go. He's like, hey, we're down 3-1 in a playoff. We need to get going. You know, I'll do some celebration, but we need to get this team going. Let's get this thing back and let's go get another one. And they did go get another one. Unfortunately, they gave up 2 more. But hey, we drew 2-2 in the second half. Watch the reaction of Patrick Agyemang here. Absolutely fantastic. He can't believe what he sees here. He surrendered Cobras. He surrenders to the magic of Kerwin Vargas right there. Like, I would love to talk to Patrick if and when I do get to talk to Patrick next year. The first question if I'm smart enough, the first question I'll ask him is, tell us what went through your head there on Kerwin's bicycle kick, because we saw your reaction. I just want to know what you were what, if anything, you were thinking, because you know, I wasn't thinking much at this moment, but the guys were thinking. Look at Kerwin, look at Camille, look at Carol. They're all running back. They knew what was at stake here, and this goal, to call it a meaningless goal, is to do it a very big injustice, because I will do a little storytelling. This was, you know, I was at the watch party here for Camp North End for this match. It was a great time. There was an inside TV. There was outside TV. I talked about it on the podcast, which hopefully you are a subscriber to by now. That's what started this whole media conglomerate called the Charlotte Soccer Show. And, you know, so you might know the story, but I'll tell it again anyway, which was, we were down 3-0 at half, and I was like, you know what? My daughter's home. I need to bring her dinner. This is, you know, the TV setup isn't perfect here at Camp North End, because like the audio was like not synced on 2 of the TVs and stuff like that. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I left. So I left at halftime. I was like, man, this team, they blew it. They lost to the freaking Red Bulls in the playoffs. They're down 3-0 at half. So I left, and I was going to go get my daughter some food, and then and go home and bring her home some takeout, and try to at least be a mini hero on the day in my dad life. And my car was out of gas, so I stopped to get gas like 2 blocks down from Camp North End. And I texted my daughter, and she's like, I'm not too hungry. That's good. And I was like, all right, I can't even be a hero at home. So what am I going to do? So I was like, you know what? Screw it. This is our last game of the year. I'm going down with the ship. So thankfully, my wiser head prevailed. I turned around. I went back to Camp North End. I had been watching the first half on the indoor TV, because it was like, that was where things were happening first. Like, so like if you wanted to watch in real time, that was sooner. The outdoor TV was like on it was like on a 10-15 second delay in the first half, and it got to like a 45-second delay in the second half, maybe 45. So that part of it kind of sucked, but we were down 3-0, so who cared? So I went and sat with like some good friends and good people that were outdoors. They were just there for the fun of it and the event, and it was the right thing to do. It paid off. So because it turned what could have been a miserable night into like a really great, enjoyable night for me. And I got to see Kerwin's goal. Like, I was, standing next to my good buddy Greg, and like one of the best friends I've made through the whole Charlotte FC experience. Was really cool. So like, thank you to Kerwin, best backflip of all. More from this game to come later in the countdown. I will not hesitate to give a teaser there. I'll try to refrain from telling the same story again that I just told, but I have been known to repeat a story or two. So please forgive me there. But yeah, what can I say? Kerwin's the man. We got to protect him at all costs for sure. I think you heard Dino Smith say at his intro presser that he watched the last 5 or 6 games Charlotte FC played to sort of get a little bit of familiarity with the squad. If he did that, then he's going to be like, man, this Kerwin Vargas guy, he was like, top 10 in the MVP voting for the league, right? He's absolutely amazing. And they'll be like, oh no, he actually sat on the bench a lot behind the previous regime and hardly played in the middle of the year after, being one of the most important players at the beginning of the season. He disappeared, and then all of a sudden was one of the most important players at the end. So imagine that. I do think Kerwin's going to be a huge part of our future. And it's a little you talk about a New Year's resolution for Charlotte FC: protect Kerwin Vargas at all costs and play him in matches at all times. Merry Christmas. See you tomorrow.